today? 30th? Today, 30th? I'm not entirely sure. Today is Tuesday, and I do believe that multiples of 7 in December are possibly on a Wednesday. Am I right on this? No, that was January I was talking about. Sorry, no, that's not right. January multiples of 7 were on a Wednesday, which makes December on a Sunday, which means that today is the Tuesday, which should be the 30th. Yes, I think that sounds right. Because if it's the 30th, that makes Thursday the 1st, which makes the following Thursday the 8th, which makes multiples of 7 on a Wednesday in January. So yes, that all works out. That's called 0 mod 7, by the way. Now, because January has 31 days, then you would expect that multiples of 7 or 0 mod 7 in February should be on a day 6, which is Saturday. So that means that Friday the 13th is in February. Are we right on this? Has anyone got a calendar? We can work it out the long way, I guess. We know that the 1st of January is a Thursday, which makes every month, that means the 28th of January is a Wednesday, which makes 29th Thursday, 30th Friday, 31st Saturday, 1st Sunday, which makes the 8th of February a Sunday, which makes the 7th of February a Saturday, which makes the 14th a Saturday, which makes the 13th a Friday. So yes, Friday the 13th, I think, you may have to check, is in February. Now, is 2026 a leap year? No, which means that March is also Friday the 13th, and that makes November 2026 Friday the 13th. So do we get 3 Friday the 13ths in 2026? I have a feeling that that might be the case, but we would have to double check. Hopefully, I'm not right. Isn't it sort of strange using mathematics to calculate superstition? I should explain the reason I bring that up is because I was born on Friday the 13th, and not that I actually am that way inclined, being a mathematician. And hello, Slimy, good to see you. But I like to see when Friday the 13th comes. Considering my life has been so bizarrely horrendous, with as a younger person wondering why this bad luck was happening, then sort of as a younger person saying, oh, it must, as a kid I should say, saying to myself, oh, it must have been Friday the 13th, that was the reason my life was so bad, because I was born on Friday the 13th. So now, for fun, I like to calculate when we get Friday the 13th every year. So as I said, if we're right, oh, thank you, Slimy, that's so kind of you, I appreciate it. Slime, if you don't mind, can you check if I'm right on this? Is Friday the 13th in 2026 on February, March, and November? It's scary to do that type of thing live, because if I'm completely wrong, then I've just embarrassed myself in front of everybody. But that's part of life. I enjoy that in a way. What do you know? Maybe Jason Voorhees could arise. Oh no, we've reached that age in my life where I have slipped out of a generation group, and so I don't know who Jason Voorhees is. G'day, Gorilla Blocks X Gaming. Pleasure to see you. I was addicted to gaming. 1992. Interesting. Oh, it's right. Excellent. Hey, Alfpog. Your partner's favorite number is 13. Nice. G'day, Alfpog. Alfpog meets Slimy and Gorilla Block. So Slimy and Gorilla Block, I thought I'd let you know, Alfpog was a viewer of mine back in 2016 and 17 on Periscope before it collapsed. So I was just telling Slimy and Gorilla Box that, well, Slimy's awesome because they calculated that our hypothesis was correct, that Friday the 13th in 2026 will be on February, March, and November. The reason I deduced it was November is because when there's not a leap year, multiples of seven, well, I mean, I say 0 mod 7 to make it easy. But Daniel Tammet, who is an autistic savant, let out one of the patterns, which was that in a non-leap year, the day and date that give you the days in February will coincide with November. The fact that they coincide with March is obvious, given that February has 28 days, which 7 perfectly divides. So, of course, that will continue. But March has 31 days, which is 3 over 28, which means that the days get pushed 3 days further down in April. So that means that Friday the 13th in April, what does that mean? That means that Friday the 13th in March makes the 13th in April a Monday, if we are correct, because Friday is day 5, Monday is day 8, which is 1 mod 7. 5 plus 3 is 8. Anyway, and it keeps going over and over. April has, of course, 2 days over because it's only got 30 days in a month, which means you get pushed 2 days down into May. And anyway, very interesting stuff. And I love thinking of the months of the year in Canaanite, because Canaanite predates the split between Aramaic and Hebrew. And so we have, the months are almost the same. We have Shuvat and Tishrin and Ayar, Nisan, Av, which is really cool, because even though now they all split up into Palestine, Israel, Lebanon, and in Lebanon you've got the Arab side, you've got the Christian Phoenician side, but they all still have those months there. So deep down, all the way back 3,000-4,000 years ago, it's quite clear that our history was quite unified before all of these relatively modern things come in and split everything. But talking about gaming, yes, I was obsessed with gaming in 1992, all the way until 1996, I would say. Did no schoolwork, avoided school. Not your strongest skill with your grasp of the deepest levels. Oh, thank you. 6 squared is 36, so the square root of 6 is 37, so 1 plus 1 equals fish. I have no idea what that means, but I'll enjoy that. But the square root of a real number, unless it's 0, is probably going to give you 2 numbers, a plus and a negative. I could turn into a maths teacher. Yeah, I know. I never thought that would happen, but there you go. I was a very bad student in maths at school. You're not good at maths? Yeah, I was not good at maths until 33, when I went to university and started to learn maths. And then I focused really hard, and I ended up winning the Dean's Award, which was very shocking, because I thought, how can that happen? It doesn't even make sense. Like, I wasn't even that good at maths, but then apparently I was, but I didn't know I was. It's like you unlock something after trauma in your life. It can make your brain sort of start to think differently, and then you start to figure out how to solve things. But I had to use different techniques because I didn't know a lot of the groundwork. But learning those different techniques allows you to solve problems that sometimes other people might struggle to solve, just by thinking differently, which is really cool. My undergraduate was in physics, and my honors was in quantum mechanics. So I wrote an honors thesis on in theoretical physics, basically trying to explain the existence of dark matter using quantum theory. But that was back in 2017. But I was always more in love with the maths than the physics, because physics is almost like a constraint on maths. That was my experience. I'm not going to say that's what it is. I'm not saying that because, I don't know enough physics to say that. But my experience was that physics could be described by maths, but maths could not be described by physics. It was like sort of the embedding went in one direction. So I thought, for me to understand something deeper than the universe itself, I'm going to have to go into mathematics. What have we got? The square root of pi is 3.21. No, that doesn't make sense, because pi itself is around 3.141598273 something. So if you take the square root of that, you're going to get something like 1 point. Are you? Hold on a second. 1.886, something like that. 1.89. I don't know. You'll have to check that. Anyway, it's now 10 minutes has passed, so it's a pleasure to see you guys. My coffee is nearly finished. And now I've got to go finish some math research because unfortunately I've got a due date by the 9th of Jan. It was so nice to talk to you guys. A pleasure. Alfpog, Slimy, Gorilla Blocks, Gorilla, sorry, did I get your name wrong? Gorilla Blocks Gaming. Um, and I'll talk to you next time. Don't forget to take life one smack at a time. Just one. One smack at a time because lots of smacks will come. Just take one at a time. And then you will make it out of your 20s and 30s. Sort of intact. Take care.